Welcome back to Stop Now, a social experiment where we stop, listen, and share. We are back, everyone. We have returned from our tour of Pakistan. We hope everybody enjoyed that episode of the talk show last time. But we are back, and I am excited to get into this week's topic. But before we get into that, I have to introduce my co-hosts, of course. We have Shiva, as always. Shiva is here. How are you?
Hi, Nate. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. And we have Mohammed is here with us this week.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. And last but certainly not least, we have the man in the mask, the voice of the voiceless. JK is with us. JK, you see, I switched it up this week. Normally I introduce you first. This week I introduced you last. How are you, JK?
I am good, Nate, and better than any time. And I thought you didn't switch, right? You got converted. That's what I was thinking. And we are staying back in Pakistan and continuing our trip. But I don't know what happened. And probably we are hijacked or kidnapped. Or did we kidnap Mohammed and keep him in the dark? Did we got a slave? Is that what is happening here?
No, actually, this is a fun part. And this is part of the adventure you get when you visit Pakistan, right? These power outages and all those little things, they all contribute to the adventures that you have in Pakistan. So yeah, no complaining, man.
This is all part of the experience.
Yeah.
Yes, we did wanted to talk a lot, and also we met so many of them, and we lost some in the tour, and we already lost the tour guide who dropped off. Those fun things apart, we didn't talk about food and culture, Mohammed. We wanted to know like what type of food, and you had any interest in. Again, I wanted to ask like how it is different from other Islamic countries like in Middle East or any must see places kind of, right? Tourist attractions or places to visit.
Yes.
Like they always say Mecca and also the holy place, and also Dubai is famous for Burj Khalifa, right? The tallest building, something like that. What is this special in Pakistan? We didn't visit that part. Don't you think, Nate, we should ask those things?
Yeah, I think that is always a great thing to talk about when you're talking about different countries, different cultures, especially if you've seen me, other than on these talk shows, I can eat, I love good food and good culture. So yes, I think that would be a great way to kind of close out our tour. Now that we're back on tour, my passport's been validated, my visa is good. So let's talk a little bit more about the food and the culture of Pakistan.
Yeah, I mean, before coming to your question, answering JK's question, how is it different from the other Arab countries? So when you talk about Dubai, or you talk about Saudi or anything, they primarily have the food of the Arabian cuisine, right? So which is totally different from us. They don't eat as much spice as we like here in Pakistan and India. It's probably like, you guys from the US can relate to Mexican food, which I guess is more spicier. So spice is the only thing which you will find every corner of Pakistan, wherever you want to go eat, right? So people love spice. That's one thing. And apart from that, we do have, cultures here of, people eating Arabian cuisine, Turkish. We have Mexican food here now in Pakistan, right? So the industry of food is evolving, and we have, variety of foods apart from our own cultural things. We are now, shifting towards more of kind of, English foods and Mexican and other kind of cuisines, because people have been visiting all around the world, and they've been, getting ideas how to improve and improvise in the food industry as well. And there are always customers like Nate who are willing to eat more. So yeah, the industry is always evolving.
Yeah, that sounds great. Like I love spicy food. I think the point that you made about kind of the outside influences being mixed with the traditional cuisine is a great one. I'm in Virginia, Mohammed, and we have an Indian restaurant about 20 minutes away from where I live. And it's Indian, but it's also Chinese and it's also Greek because the owners are all from different countries. And the food that they make is amazing because it's a little bit of each of their cultures put into the food.
Yeah, it's the same kind of thing here, right? So we're not only limited to our own culture or cuisine. So as you said, you're getting more spicy with the Indian and the Greeks. It's kind of the same thing here as well. So I'm not sure what exactly is our own food right now. So we're getting everything here. So it's kind of confusing as well, but more interesting.
So what about like the food called like biryani? Like even like in
Yes.
India, like it's a famous food. Maybe Neat doesn't know about biryani. Neat, you heard the word like biryani?
I have not, Shiva. Biryani. What is
Uh,
biryani?
oh, how come you're eating Indian food and you're not aware of that?
Yeah.
I need to be educated. That's part of the fun of the show, Mohammed. So what is this? What is biryani?
Man, it's I'm not a food expert in that. I guess Shiva would explain you a little better, considering you both live there. But the next time you visit there, just ask them. Shiva, you can share a couple of
Mhm.
more dishes with
Yes.
Nate, and he can go out and try on those restaurants. So I'm not sure if that is available over there or not, but I guess so.
Yeah,
It
it
will
will
be.
be available. Like it's all like Indian food. It's like biryani is a kind of Islamic food, but nowadays like it's become like Indian food. Biryani, it's kind of non-vegetarian, like mixed with spice and
Mm.
rice. Rice. It mixed with a lot of spicy with chicken or mutton or beef, whatever
Okay.
the non-veg you can
Yeah.
just mix it with rice, and it's cooked with like street cooking and other thing. It'll be like more tasty and more spicy. More Indian and like Asian country, they love biryani. Even like 3 to 4 times they can eat biryani.
That sounds good. Yeah, I do like spice and rice. You had me at spice
Yeah,
and rice, Shiva.
yes. The biryani is your thing, Nate. Just try it out.
Moma, like usually like in your marriage, I think biryani is the best thing, food.
Well, me personally, I don't prefer rice, right? So any kind of rice.
Mhm.
Biryani is good, but I don't like spice and I don't like rice. So I'm totally opposite to rice and spice as it was
Uh,
mentioning.
Mhm.
So that's biryani is not my thing, but I've had experience with that. We do eat occasionally, but I'm not too fond of eating spices. My stomach won't be able to bear all that.
Mhm.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, uh, my understanding, even Shiva, North Indians, they prefer more of roti and naan, those kind of food
Yes.
items. That's
Mhm.
what they mentioned, right? Even here, when you see restaurants, and Pakistan is always mentioned like Indo-Pakistan restaurant. Like they don't just specifically say that like as a Pakistani restaurant here. That's what my experience is. And there, like they always have the North Indian side of
Mhm.
dishes. It's not more of a rice, as he mentioned. So Shiva, correct me if I'm wrong. Like South, probably they say that like they are fond of rice and they eat rice all the time. And biryani is like more of a, they call it as Hyderabad, right? Uh,
Yes.
particular iconic place where I think Nawabs and Muslims are
Mhm.
more there.
Mhm.
That may be the reason. And Mohammed, to take to the other part, right? We are missing you in action. So you are on dark mode. What happened, right?
Mhm.
Is this the
Uh,
politics or the power
yes,
struggle?
man.
What is happening?
Yeah, previous couple of years, they have been not easy with the country's financial position and the economic policies and all that. Yeah, and again, the recent government was toppled over by the opposition, and the politics is just, it's not that we are lacking resources with electricity, but it's just the petty politics that's been going on, and it hadn't been a problem since the previous 2 3 years. It's just that the recent month or so, we have been, we've been getting into these dark modes and all that. So I'm not sure how much more that I have to bear on this, but pretty sure that this will be over. I mean, even though the next elections are announced or whatever happens, so, I'm optimistic that this will be sorted out.
Yeah, hopefully, right? So we always hope for the best, but when we look at the negative news and things that is happening, they are tying everything to the war between Ukraine and Russia, and the economic slowdown is going to happen, and also US stock market is getting crashed,
Yes.
and Sri Lanka, Pakistan are in deep debt with the Chinese. So those kind of
Yes.
news are really scaring, right? They are even so many YouTubers have talked about this, like going dark. The entire country is going to get blacked out with the electricity. Those kind of things are really troubling.
Yeah, I mean, the Russian-Ukraine war, because we are more of a globally connected, world right now. So everything that happens in any part of the world affects everybody around the world. So this is how we are. So the war is definitely a factor, but this Russia never, Russia is not putting us in a blackout mode, right? And neither is Ukraine doing something like that. This is our internal matter. This is only because these are the tactics that because opposition is conducting rallies, and they're mobile for the next elections. So the government is in power, and they'll just black out the whole cities just to retrain the media to cover all those rallies and stuff like that. Yeah, just political tactics, nothing else.
Yeah, let's move on to our next topic. Again, Mohammed, you have become a part of our team now, and you have even started doing the social experiment. We are doing that, part of the experimental lab. How was your experience? Like, I ended up last week, I just remember that I asked this question: do you believe that we can win this fight against the injustices that is happening? And what will be the effect of our social experiment? You have a fair idea, I believe, right now.
Yes. Again, this I don't think there will be a desired result or a big kind of thing for this. This is a continuous struggle that has to keep going, either with us or somebody else has to take it forward. But it has to keep on going. It's the same thing like human trafficking and other crimes like racism and all that. They are never going to end. It's just a continuous struggle of varying different people, and trying to create a more feasible and more peaceful society so that everybody can live in. So my experiment so far is that I'm not sure if we are going to get an end result of this. This will just keep on going. And our effect will be that if we try to do this, we are doing this on a regular basis, right? So if we keep on going, and we might be able to aware a lot of people on what's happening here, and so the people who are already stuck in US with these problems, right, they are finding their own solutions and doing all of that. So people who are, there are also a lot of other candidates in India and Pakistan and other Asian countries who are looking to move to US and, thinking about all that military life that they show in the movies. So they might get, a rough idea of how things are going on over there, and it's not exactly as it seems. So we might be able to, bring awareness to the people.
And I think that is very important when we're talking about this experiment, when we're talking about some of the shows that we do here at Stop Now. It is that awareness. It is putting this issue on the forefront. It is keeping this issue front of mind for a lot of people that might not have thought about this, might not have even known, that this was going on, Mohammed. And I'm wondering for you, like, what was there anything with the experiment so far that has maybe surprised you, or something that you didn't expect going into the experiment that you've seen?
Yeah, just about yesterday, I had one of the interviews that JK, forwarded to me. I was pretending to be Shiva there, and I was surprised when the guy came on, camera, and I just turned on my camera as well. So I was going through Shiva's profile to have a better understanding of the interview. So I just saw Shiva has an MBA, Master's in Business back in 2003, if I'm not wrong. So I was 5 at that time. I expected that the guy would just turn on the camera and he'll say, stop kidding me. Just go and do your work, whatever you were doing. This is, I wasn't expecting it to go as smooth as it went, even though the interview it didn't get as well as I would have liked it, because it was the first interview. And again, me and Shiva, there's a lot of difference of experience and all that. So, but he never objected to any of it. So it went on. So I'm thinking if I'm, able to do, more interviews and get a better understanding of Shiva's profile or any other person's of even of your profile, I might be able to clear the interview and get in the job as well.
Mohammed, correct me if I'm wrong. You said you can play the part of Nate. You can be a
yes,
black man.
I guess. Yes. They never question.
My question is are you willing to be a black man?
Yeah, what's wrong with being black?
No, I just specifically for a reason.
It comes with a lot of baggage in America, Mohammed. Let me tell you, there's a lot of extra stress.
Yes, I am. How about being a black Muslim?
Yep.
That's cherry on top, right?
Cherry on top, yes.
Yes, we had Muhammad Ali. Already we had Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, man. It's again. Yes. Yeah, yes. Muhammad Ali he was a champion, right? So yes. I'm not even close to what he was.
So that's exactly what happened, right? He was a Christian. He got converted, and yes. If you see that Netflix story, right? I don't want to go into that right now, but just to say that, right? So why I asked that is we cannot play. Maybe I don't know if we get trained, we can talk like black. And actually, I wanted to share that video, right, to you guys. Let me see, if I can pull that up, that's a funny video in TikTok. I think I shared in the clubhouse, and
yes, you're right.
They feel offensive, right? So you talk black in the sense is that black a language? They make that joke and start with that conversation. It's a funny thing, and it's no offense, right? They have a unique accent. You cannot talk like them. This is what happened, right? I tried to play Nate, and I cleared the interview. And because of the name, right? His name is Nathaniel. And again, anyone can have that name, whether black or white or Asian or anyone. So they didn't suspect me. And after clearing the interview, they offered the job. You won't believe, right? It's a big company, utility company in California. And they offered $70. And background, everything was cleared. For onboarding him, they asked the ID. So we shared Nate's ID, original ID, right? Because I cannot put my face in that, fake the ID, and we will get into trouble, right? You know this as a lawyer.
Yes, yes.
Already we are doing so many fake things.
Yeah.
So I shared Nate's ID. I shared the Nate ID, and they saw that, and immediately they got freaked out, and they immediately called me and said, we want to see you again on camera, a quick check, because the ID you shared is a black man, African-American. They didn't say black man, African-American. and what's going on over there.
Mhm.
And I don't know how to respond. You get caught, right? So when you get caught, what do you say?
Yeah, I mean, you could have done something like that, putting Nate on and turning off his mic, and you should have, spoken in the background, and Nate should have, just,
That's
uh,
the that's the experiment we are expecting to do it, right? So just
yeah,
do the lip sync, and I will
yeah,
talk so that
yeah.
everything is.
There
He's
would be
real.
more freaks, right?
Huh?
There
Sorry.
would be more freaks.
No, actually, that is happening, Mohammed. That is happening. That kind of story is there. Shiva is laughing because we have a story and we have certain organization. They are doing that. That is exactly what they are doing it. And asking the person to show up on the camera and do the lip syncing, and somebody will be sitting on the other side and they will be also sign, just like how we are signing up in 2 different accounts, right? They will be giving the interview. That is also happening. We wanted to cover that, but it's too complex for our team to get to that level, right? Because unless you have the expertise, you cannot.
Yeah,
We can test it out. Just do the lip sync, Nate. I will talk.
Okay.
Welcome to stop now. I don't know what's going to happen, but let's switch gear here before we wrap up this session and end the tour to Pakistan. I want to show something I keep forgetting with Nate. Nate, what happened with your project and the after effect you had, right? That they were threatening you to return the laptop or not getting paid or filing a police complaint. And Shiva got freaked out, saying that you both are going to be in jail. Don't do that. So I went ahead. Again, Mohammed, this is for you. As a lawyer, law student, you tell me what can we do, right? So this is for you to take up the case. We filed a complaint with the Department of Justice saying that there is a discrimination and racism in his case because they hired him and they gave him a job to work for a month and they did not pay him and they did not give him a reason and they fired him. Does this amount to discrimination or is the as a US citizen, right? He's a US citizen and he has his rights. So that's why we went to the Department of Justice website where there is a civil rights division, which is the specialty is they investigate on civil right violation and all the other things. So Nate, to give him much context on this, I filed a complaint online, right? What happened in your case? And this is what I got, right? A response. Thanks for submitting a report to the civil rights division. And then immediately you can see there is a response within a day, right? On April 19th, we filed. On April 20th, it comes. Team members from the Civil Rights Division reviewed the information you submitted, right? I don't know how many team members, right? Based on the information, our team determined that the federal civil rights law we enforce do not cover the situation you described. Therefore, we cannot take further action. What you can do, the issue may be covered by other federal, state, or local laws that we do not have the authority to enforce. We are not determined that your report lacks merit. Your state bar association or local legal aid office may be able to help you with your issue, even though the Department of Justice cannot. And they are giving a contact and all those things. And no person is willing to sign that, right? It just says how do I, it's not even a real person, right? It looks like an automated.
Yes, exactly. That's an auto-generated email, right? Yeah. So I don't even know if they have reviewed it or not.
So see, employment litigation section, right? So they have a particular section for employment related crime, right? That I chose all those things and stated exactly the facts. Why did they hire me? Why did they fire me? Why did they not pay me? And why they are threatening me? a clear-cut report on what exactly happened and transcribed in that, and this is what we get it. So my question here is like, how do we actually even fight against anything, and how do we even get justice unless we are ready to spend money with a lawyer and pay him and file a lawsuit, a case against the company? And I don't know, even with that, like, we will get justice or not. So this is even more worse, right? Your case is a US citizen, being US citizen, we are finding it so hard to even report and get a response, a positive response saying that, like, okay, I was expecting, okay, we are going to investigate this. We will reach out to the company and find out what exactly happened. But that's not happening here. It's like I'm calling 911 and they say like, okay, oh, you just hang up, you go to your police station or look for some help.
Yeah, JK, you're right, some of the part, but again, the thing is, law is not as simple as it seems. And there is a lot of ambiguity in that. So there is this, the difference between local laws and the federal laws. So I don't know if Department of Justice exactly covers the cases of racism. There might be some other relevant authority or department to cover that, right? So as I'm not an attorney right now, or I'm not, I've not even studied the US laws, so I'm not aware of that. So you can, what you can do is you can just, call somebody and for a consultation, a lawyer, and you just, ask them if, present them the facts, and they will give you a better idea of if it has some merits to go forward, or, yeah, it might be as we just see it. They don't want to do something. Another thing is that they might be getting, thousands or maybe hundreds of thousands of emails on regular basis. So they just, try to filter out through this automatic email.
Yeah, I totally understand, Mohammed, right? So the volume of complaint that becomes, this is what I'm pulling it up, right? So from the Department of Justice, they are giving this, right? Report a crime. So I am saying that a crime has happened, right? Whether it comes under a white collar crime or whatever crime, right? If it's drug related, terrorism, fraud, all those things. If I make a complaint, submitting a complaint itself is a big task, right? For a victim to come forward and be brave enough to, because you know that everybody knows that there is a consequence, right? When you are going to accuse somebody else and complain on them, so you are going to be taken a ride for that, like till you have an end result on that, right? Either they will come back at you or there will be questioning. Why many people don't want to go to police, right? So you have to answer so many questions, right? Which can backfire as well on you, right? They will ask you counter questions and what you are doing. So that is why reporting a crime itself is a big task. And you are giving this option here saying that we are very modernized and we will take into consideration every report that is being filed, right? That is why like we file the cases in the court, and they just automate that process and send it immediately saying that like we reviewed, a team of members reviewed, and there is no merit in this. That's unacceptable. That is unacceptable. That is why like I was outraged. It is not. Then where do anyone who sees this, right? They will have this impression, right? The same thing. If they are illegal, then what happens? Like how they will be a victim, right? The minute they are illegal or on a visa sponsorship, will I be able to have the courage and go and report any crime? No, absolutely not.
Yeah, and the capitalist societies that we have nowadays, even the government doesn't appreciate you for reporting a crime. Like if you report a crime, there will be a number. There has to be an investigation against it, right? So the state machinery has to be put into action, put into motion to review that and to to get progress to that. So they don't, the policy behind all of this is they do not appreciate somebody reporting a crime. So this way they don't have to work, they don't have to spend, and they look better in terms of, media coverage and all that, right? So this is not only in US, all of the world. It is how the state functionary is designed like that way, right? Reporting a crime itself is a big task, as you said, right? The police will question you all the things, and they will say that if you're trying to accuse someone and you cannot prove that in court, they'll get back at you with defamation and all that. So they will never appreciate somebody for coming forward and trying to report a crime. And the first thing they will just try to rubbish your claims at that. When you try to report a crime, they will be like, okay, so what is this and that, and try to confuse you in all sorts of manner, and they will ask your ID and all that stuff. So, they will go to every length just to avoid reporting of that crime.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So my point is, like, even as part of our experiment, we can try this. They have given this, like, I was even having a conversation with Harold on that. Just they keep saying everybody else, right? Every other nonprofit who fights on these things, they'll say like, okay, report to National Human Trafficking Hotline. And what will happen if I call and I just wanted to test that out in real, right? Call them and actually report a human trafficking case and see what happens. They will not do anything. The call center agents cannot do, because they are just doing their job. They will just reroute and say that, like, oh, you contact this person where you are calling from, you are in this state, go and ask for a legal aid with checks. We can share some list of attorneys. What, I can't Google that? What is this nonsense that is going on? That is what, like, frustrates me, right? Because there is no point unless you are ready to fight it out till the end. You have the courage in you to fight against somebody else. There is no use in these provisions or options, right? These are not helpful at all.
Again, there is another aspect to that as well. This is, if it would have been that easy, reporting a crime and getting investigation and getting justice was that easy, why would there be lawyers who are spending millions on their education and all that, right? So it doesn't make any sense. So lawyers are there to get you justice, but justice comes at a cost. I myself, I'm a lawyer, but I hate this thing, right? So the systems are designed so complicated that a normal human being cannot go on his own and get justice freely, or less costly, right? So you'd have to hire a lawyer and you'll go through all the complex processes.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt the lawyer, right? I know we have hired you. That's why we are hiring you. You have to do your job. I'm just joking, man. So I know, like, see, it is a business, right? That's why I say, like, justice is also a business, right? The third party, right? If you can't resolve a problem, right? If I and Nate, or Shiva and Nate have problem, if we can't solve between us, we end up with the third party, that is the justice. And I totally understand lawyers needs to get paid, and that's how, like, they make the life miserable of many people. And that's the earning you chose to do it. That's up to you. My question here, right? Let's wrap up. We don't have to take much time, and we can continue this conversation in the next week. And again, Mohammed, thank you and welcome to our team. So my one question for you to ponder upon, you don't have to answer right now, but what do you think? Like, you have played the role of H-1B candidate and also trying to do certain things in the experiment. My question here is, like, should the H-1B visa sponsorship program be banned, or should it be stopped by the US government, or what is your take on that?
You want me to answer that in the next, or I've already reached a conclusion on that? Let me tell you that, right?
Excellent. Yeah. Just give a brief, right? As an attorney, right? You as a lawyer, like, you already have come to a conclusion. So how will you?
Yeah, it should not be, banned completely. I would be against that too, right? There should be, certain rights enacted in the law to provide, a more, to provide a little bit of cushion to the H-1B candidates, right? So they can, if the employer should not be, the one who can cancel the visa, right? That's the one thing. They should, the employer should not have the authority to do that. I mean, there are other little, again, the another thing should be the candidate can bargain, his own salary and pay rate as well. So there should be, there are, a couple of tweaks that need to be done in the law. So in order to, serve the candidates better justice. Again, completely banning it won't do any good, right? So there are people who are willing to work, who are willing to make, who are willing to work. They're trying to put in good work and trying to make life better. There are good people as well. So banning it completely would be, just wrong.
So you are a typical lawyer. So you got graduated here. You have qualified yourself, Mohammed. That's exactly all the attorneys that we spoke before are playing safe or playing diplomatic and saying that like, oh, there are positive side to it and those things. Let's take this up, right? Let's have this conversation more in the later episode. Again, I don't want to occupy all the space here. Nate, any final thoughts or questions, comments? Shiva, you have been quite.
Yes, Shiva, you've been very quiet today. So I'll let Shiva go first and then I'll go.
No, I think I stand with Mohammed. Like, no social issue have any justice. We can just keep on addressing. That's our job. Like, it won't get any justice because it's the social issues. It's not it's my problem or your problem or JK problem. It's a social issue. We couldn't find out any justice for it. That's my stand. Can go on.
And I think, Shiva, like when we were talking about the Justice Department, not really being proactive, I think it's two things. Mohammed mentioned lawyers, and it's not just, lawyers that are doing the right thing and trying to stand up for victims, but these companies, they've got a lot of lawyers and they spend a lot of money to make sure that the laws don't change. So that's a part of the problem. And then the other thing is, I think there's strength in numbers, JK, where one complaint or one person's story might not be enough to change things, but the more people that we can get to talk, the more people that can share their experiences, I think it's like building a case when you go to court. You want as many witnesses as you can. And that might be something that can help change things down the line, because it's very hard for one person to make a difference. And you need a team, you need a community. So that would be my thought on it, JK.
Yes, certainly, I agree to it. And again, Nate, the question to you: do you want us to continue with your profile and continue with that experiment and collect more evidence? And as you said, right, building that case is what we are trying to do. Do you want us to do, or what do you? Because I need your consent, right? Because somebody else is playing, right? I'm not playing your role right now.
Yes, as long as I don't get more police letters, I'm good, JK.
So we have a lawyer, right? So he will defend for you.
Yes, Mohammed, I need you to take up the case.
Yeah, I'm only able to take my personal stuff right now. I don't have the license to do so, and
no, this is part of a social experiment. Mohammed, come on, right? So when we can fake and do things and do jobs, you can also take up a case, right? As a fake case, and we can conduct a trial. I can. And you can be the judge also, or you can be a defender. I don't want to take more of your time right now. Do you want to be a corporate lawyer, or what is your social justice lawyer? What is your ambition in life?
Exactly where I started was I wanted to become just a lawyer, not in the corporate field, right? I don't want to be in the corporate. I wanted to be more on the criminal side. Besides the law, I'm more interested in psychology as well. So I would be taking up psychology as my second major after law. So just I want to experience more stuff with these people who are into crimes, right? So I'm more into like the criminology and psychology kind of stuff. So getting to know why and what things make these people do the crimes that they commit. I want to study that.
Oh, that's interesting. And we will try to learn more from you. Again, without the iconic place, you have to pick one place, right? If it is Pakistan, what is the one place we should or must visit? Mention that. Without that, like the tour of Pakistan will not come to an end.
Yes. Again, yeah. One place that I would mention is if somebody likes, nature, somebody is more into, historical places and all that. We've got all that. I will list, just a couple of those places, right? If you are more into nature and stuff, we have this K2 mountain, which is, the second highest in the world. There's a base camp called Concordia Base Camp, and the mountain itself is giant mountain. A lot of people come in to summit that, and there's a lot of activity going on. That is one of the most beautiful places that you can visit. If you're more into historical places, you can go visit the Sindh part of the Sindh province of Pakistan. They have this Mohenjo-daro place, which is, I guess, something like, I don't know, 2000 years old and stuff like that. But they have these old historical places. So yeah, we do have other iconic buildings as well in Lahore. We have this Badshahi Mosque and this Shahi Killa, which is the Shahi Fort that was built by the Mughal leaders back in the time when Taj Mahal and other iconic places in the India were building. So we do have a lot of places. Depends on the interest of the person. But yeah, these were the few that I listed.
So we have come to an end to the tour of Pakistan. Where is our next destination, Nate?
Like, I feel like this is Carmen San Diego. Like, we'll spin the globe, and wherever our finger lands next, that's where we'll go. Like next week, JK, we're heading to Sweden.
Sweden. Oh.
Yes, we had a group of girls helping out from Sweden. We can definitely go there as well. You pick any country. We have all over the world. We have people.
We got team members all over the globe.
I said just grab your warm clothes. I guess Sweden is cold.
So we can go from climbing K2 to where the Swiss Alps, or what, I don't know what mountains are in Sweden. I've never been. JK. That's why we got to take a tour. That's why we got to take a tour of Sweden.
Exactly.
Well, they politically, I know that like Sweden and Finland, they were trying to be neutral, and now they are being forced to join NATO. They are rushing because of the Russians like to join the Western.
Yeah.
So that's what probably I
because
can ask.
Because of the gas supply that Russia has been supplying to them, I guess it's because of that.
Right. So this
so many world decisions made circling around oil and fuel and money, JK.
Yeah.
Funny how that all works out.
Our job will be to visit countries which are being troubled. I was hoping like to go to Sri Lanka or somewhere like Ukraine or Russia and create more problem and say like, hey, stop now. We are here, like to stop.
Yeah. The Stop Now Army is here.
Yes, the Stop Now Army. It's a special unit, a special team.
Yes, and you have to end that, Nate, with that, right? We are recruiting, and we need warriors, we need slaves, and please welcome, subscribe our channel, and join us.
Yes, subscribe to the channel, join us. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you once again to Muhammad for joining us. We appreciate you, and Shiva and JK as well. So thank you for watching.
Yes.
Bye for now, everybody.
Bye for now. Yes. Bye for now.
Bye for now.